Whew, okay. Not bad. Okay, considering that this relationship is one hell of a karmic one. Okay, karmic or honestly divine, because you have two. You know, the high priestess and the hierophant. That's a very spiritual and very powerful divine connection. All right, because these two are, you know, considered like, this is the priest, right? This is the priest. They are, you know, disciples of God, or you know, the people that, you know, speak for the Lord and the, you know, or the higher, you know, the universe, right? They represent a higher power, or people to go to seek higher guidance. So the fact that you have the high priestess and the hierophant in here, that is a strong combo. So some of you guys could also be straight up dealing with a Taurus as well. But the underlying energy is about starting something new, something exciting, something very passionate. I don't know if this is a second time around for some of you guys. Some of you guys, it could be that there was a period in which you guys may have taken a step back, look at that yourself, reflected, and now it opened the door to something really, really interesting, right? Because the Ace of Wands is all about passions, and in a way, it's very magical, but it's just very passionate energy, and I feel like there's something here that's like obviously trying to burn like fucking hotcakes. Excuse my French. Now, like I said before, these two together are very divinely connected. All right, they're very divinely connected. The Hierophant talks about conformity, though. It talks about traditions and commitments and things that are, you know, typical when it comes to, you know, following certain, you know, laws or stipulations. This could also talk about an age difference, since we do have the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups here. And the Host of Fears is the King of Pentacles, so obviously I don't think that's necessarily a person. It could be that someone, you could be hoping for an individual to come, or hoping for someone that's a King of Pentacles, which could be in Capricorn, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Again with Aquarius. I think y'all are dealing with an Aquarian, but some of you guys out there, that may not resonate for a lot of you guys, but I'm getting some serious Aquarius energy somewhere, because I kept saying it. All right, I don't do that. So your situation here has a lot to do with what you're familiar with, what you're used to, what things have, you know, what routines have been put in place, what's been like a constant thing. Now this could be that there's a change in the fact in the way you look at things, like in regards to commitments or in regards to traditions. Why? Well, because you have the Five of Pentacles that's keeping you from from trusting your intuition, or perhaps being a little bit more vulnerable. I feel like it's kind of like either there's this fear of rejection, or there was rejection of new love. The Ace of Cups in this very center here. The High Priestess being your desired outcome is very interesting, because it can indicate here that you may want to be either more private. You want to trust your intuition a little bit more. Go with the flow. Go with your instincts. But at the same time, I feel like there has been times perhaps when you had gone with your instincts, and it never really, it kind of showed up really short here. And it may have had a lot to do with love, right? You took a chance in love here, and you possibly hadn't gotten the best news from this offer here, or you may have felt like you've been open and you haven't really been seeing the things, the kind of attention. Not necessarily attention, because you guys are not looking for attention, but you're looking for some sort of response, or a response that you like, but there was a lack of that, right? Doesn't mean that it wasn't there at all, but it's a lack. The thing here is, the advice is telling you guys that the Queen of Swords is your best path to follow. The Queen of Swords is very direct. She's very serious, but she's also a bit detached when it comes to her emotions. And she's detached because she's protecting her emotions. She's using her logic to be able to fight her back. Using her logic, her intelligence. She's separating her emotional aspects from her or other aspects, the way she doesn't get hurt, because she can be very sensitive, I feel. Obviously, this person, like, if you didn't, you wouldn't be cold and detached typically if you didn't have, if you didn't care. Your emotions would be very, very much involved, right? But your best path to follow is almost like it's saying to just communicate your truth, walking in truth, and know what your truth is, right? Maybe building boundaries with individuals that may have crossed them before. Making some things or needs clear, wants or needs clear, especially when it comes to relationships. So you don't have to feel like you're, so you can commit to this relationship and not feel like you're left out in the cold. The Queen of Swords is never left out in the cold. She will never let herself do that. Why? Because she will let people know of her stipulations and things that need to happen. So I think there may be patterns in relationships, or there's a certain routine in relationships that you live for, and you're not getting it with this relationship. It could be that you guys want, maybe there's not enough dates or something, or spending time together, and that's something you're used to, but this person may not see that as that, they may not even recognize it as a necessity. Your feelings, though, is really nice. You have the Three of Pentacles here, which talks about you wanting, that you're here planning for the future. You can see either you're trying to figure out what the future has to hold for the both of you, and both you and this person that you may be seeing or dealing with. But this also could indicate that you may be trying to figure out where you can go from here regarding gaining some sort of stability in your love life, being in a solid connection and a stable connection. Because right now you guys do have the Hierophant here, so there's either that you guys are committing this connection or someone else is committed to you guys. But your hopes and fears is the King of Pentacles. Perhaps you guys want somebody, or perhaps you hope that the person that you're with or dealing with right now is a little bit more mature in regards to how they either handle finances, or very practical and solution oriented, right? Because this person is very good at coming up with solutions and ideas and practical ways of handling certain situations that honestly, or practically, that could practically, that need practical analysis. But this is ultimately someone that can commit, that's diligent and that's hardworking. And honestly, this is a card for Taurus. That's why I was like, y'all may be seeing a Taurus right now too. And the reason why I'm probably saying Aquarius a lot is because Uranus is in Taurus right now, which is your second house. So maybe right now the value system of how you guys are seeing love is changing greatly. How you guys see love, the value in which you guys, the value in which you see yourself and a relationship is changing. And especially your needs potentially too. And that is right there communicating to you potentially that maybe talking about it and communicating with your partner will be helpful. And being very serious and stern about it, right? Because honestly, this is a change in how you guys are in relationships all around, right? You want to be vulnerable and okay with it, right? You don't want to feel like you're being left out in the cold with you being open like this, like with another individual. You don't want to be used and abused. So I get that. So I feel like with the Queen of Swords, what it's going to do, what it's asking you to do, is come up with boundaries that truly resonate with your truth. Because here in your outcome, you have the Knight of Cups. This could be someone that you've been, had an eye on for a while. So either you're with this individual now, or you're not really with this individual. This could be this could be friends with, not friends with benefits, but friends that may have wanted more. And this could also indicate here that there is romance returning into the relationship, or that somebody's coming in with an offer of love. But the thing with the Knight of Cups is that he's emotionally unstable usually. Not saying that he's crazy, but he's emotionally flip-floppy. He's inconsistent when it comes to how he feels, which is why he could he's seen or perceived as someone that is unreliable, or kind of not really all they chalked up to be, because they feel what they feel in that moment. They don't ever lie. They feel what they feel in that moment. But that changes, right? It changes constantly for them. So, with that being said, I really feel like communicating your needs and your truths, creating boundaries to protect yourself, and being open and honest and honestly communicate with people that in regards to what you may be looking for in relationships, it can help a great deal. Because you have ambitions about the future with the Three of Pentacles. I feel that those are ambitions that you're planning for with people, with yourself or relationships in general. Wow, you got 2 cards here with the Romance Angels, so we're gonna keep those. So yeah, the cards that you guys have here is, wow, a past life connection or past life relationship. You have known each other before. This is what I'm saying. The Knight of Cups is someone you already know before, and the Hierophant could be that someone that you are familiar with too. Whereas this is a typical so this is probably why you may be connected with this individual or connected with them so easily. It's because you're familiar with them. But the Knight of Cups can indicate that this is somebody you've already known for a while. And then you have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. And you had the Three of Cups come up, the Three of Swords, remember, come up when I was shuffling. So there is some old things that may have to be released right now, and releasing necessarily the aspect of the pain that's keeping you from being able to move forward, to be able to be open to love, and pretty much to be open to love. And I think what you must take from the past is the information and insight in which you feel, in which you need to be able to protect yourself from people in the future that may take advantage of your loyalty, that take advantage of your commitment. And I'm not saying anybody in here is taking advantage of you. No one here in this reading is taking advantage of you. Okay, but this person here is learning how to put boundaries up with this Knight of Cups energy. They're learning how to understand their own emotions and being consistent with them. They're in the learning process in a way. And typically pages are more of learners, but I feel like this Knight of Cups person is not lying to you when they say they feel something for you, but they're also not lying if they don't feel something for you the next moment. They're just inconsistent. And I feel like at the same time, this person is someone you've known for a while. I don't think this is that they're inconsistent in regards to just their emotions, but they just kind of have this weird, they're just very weird. I feel like. Not in a bad way, and I don't mean to insult your partner at all, the person that you're interested in, right? But hey, man, this person just may have a different mindset than you do, because you're coming up as the Queen of Swords. This is way mature than the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups could be someone that's also very delusional, so be careful with that. And that's why you want the King of Pentacles, because he's at least very, very realistic. He's someone that's very realistic. And I'm not saying this is for women either, right? This could be men or women, right? As a queen, you're a cardinal sign. So this is talking about being very direct, right? Being the you that's clear and don't mess around with truth. This is your opposite sign here, Aries. All right, Libra. It's honestly saying to just, but know your boundaries within your relationships. Gain a balance in your relationships. You have to know, you have to tell people what you do and do not accept. And I think that will make this the person that you are dealing with either commit or show their true sides at the end of the day. But the Knight of Cups is usually actually a very lovely energy, because he can be very romantic and he does feel absolute love. So don't count him out just yet. And especially since past life came up here for Aries, this person is ringing more bells for this person being familiar more than anything right now. Wow, this says show simple acts of kindness. And this says, a simple act of kindness can energize you and bring happiness to those around you. And this means that being authentic and walking in your truth is definitely what you can do. I'm not saying that you haven't been, but communication, spending time together, things like that, those are things that can help build the relationship stronger. Communication is what the Queen of Swords rules. So right now, communication is a big key to this whole thing. Communicating what your needs are, building boundaries, okay, and looking at the situation in a very logical form, and be very careful of being too quick to jump into love. You want to get to know the person as well. So Yeah, like I really feel like this reading was really just talking about to definitely look in, well, definitely not necessarily look, but definitely know your truth and know your boundaries, or know and develop boundaries based off of what you've been through, based off of the feeling of being left on the cold. So you don't have to feel like that again.